Hello everyone. So today I want to talk to you about being a YouTube blogger because I've been a YouTube blogger for since March, which is like only a few months. But I've been on YouTube since like 2006. But this is not my first channel. This is like my third channel because the other one got removed, which was nice. I was very sad about that. But anyway, that's not part of this video. Today I want to talk to you guys about 5 positive things about being a YouTube vlogger. And when I say vlogger, I mean someone who talks in front of a camera and they tell you about their day, or they reenact stuff, or they make like mini movies or sketches or stuff like that. The people I'm subscribed to, that's what I mean by a vlogger. Not like, someone who takes their camera around and travels everywhere. No, I'm not talking about those vloggers. I'm talking about the YouTube vloggers. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to tell you 5 positive things about being a YouTube vlogger. Okay, so the first thing is YouTube is so easy to sign up for. Like, you just need to put your username and then put your email, and then you signed up and you're good to go. Like, it could not be well, it could be easier, but it's really simple to sign up. And the easier something is, the better people use it. Which is why I think there's so many YouTube vloggers on YouTube, because if it was hard, no one would sign up. And also, in terms of like budget and stuff, like if you want to make a video, all you really need is a phone camera. Like all the nice stuff, the high-tech cameras, the microphone and the high-tech, I said high-tech already. But all the other stuff, that comes with being a vlogger, you can get that stuff later. It doesn't have to be right away. As long as you have a video, you're good. It's very tempting to want to go, oh, I see these other YouTubers, they have like all these nice cameras, and personally I wish I had a nice camera just because, for presentation purposes, because those cameras, they just look really nice. Like, I'm a big camera enthusiast, I guess you could say. Like, the better the image, the better I feel, basically. But yeah, one day, if I ever get a camera like that, I will be so happy. But for the most part, you don't need like a fancy camera when you're a YouTube vlogger starting out. Okay, so the second positive thing about being a YouTuber is probably the most important thing about being a YouTuber. And it's what makes these vloggers, I don't want to say it's just popular. I don't like using that word, but it's what makes them popular and not like just someone talking to a camera. Like I'm doing right now. So the second positive thing about being a YouTube vlogger is the sense of community. And what I mean by that is that, YouTube is all about the subscriptions and the comments and making online friends. Because, subscribers are the people who are willing to watch these people talk in front of a camera and, make stuff. And then the comments lets the YouTuber know what they can do better and what they've done right, which is really nice. And then also you can make friends on YouTube too. Like you can become friends with someone who lives like 5,000 miles away, but because they saw your video, they're gonna relate to you a lot, which is really nice. Like, how else would they know about you? The internet is just so great, isn't it? But yeah, that's number 2, the sense of community about YouTube. It brings people together, which is a really good thing. So the third positive thing about being a YouTube vlogger is that when you're a YouTube vlogger, you're basically your own boss. Something I like to call independent creativity. And basically what this means is the YouTube vloggers are their own director, producer, actor, whatever. They're the ones who are setting up everything. They're putting all their hard work into it. And it's nice because they get to do almost anything they want. Like they can talk about anything. They can write a script and they can film it and they can call it their own movie. Like you can do anything as a YouTube vlogger. There's like almost no limitations. Almost, because there's certain things you just should not put on film. But for the most part, being a YouTube vlogger, you can do anything. And you're doing it all yourself, which means you have full creative control. And I know a lot of people probably like that. Okay, so the fourth positive thing about being a YouTube vlogger is that you can spread your message to way further places than you ever could before. Like, since you're a YouTube blogger, you can say something in your video and it can reach like 1 million people. You can also inspire people because, you know, people are pretty funny in that way. Like, if you see a YouTuber telling you to do something, you know, some people, they're like, yeah, maybe that person's right, because there's like a certain level of respect for their favorite YouTuber, like, because it's someone they relate to. So that means you're getting your message across, and you're also influencing other people, and then they're spreading that message to other people. And it's like a nice cycle of just good people, which is what's so good about spreading your message on YouTube. So finally, the fifth one is being a YouTube vlogger, you can improve your performance skills in some way. For me, what I do is I apply what I learned in college about public speaking, which is you have to have a main point and all this stuff they tell us about. But I apply some of that when I'm making videos. So I make sure things are as organized as they can possibly be, and then I apply it to the videos. It helps your performance skills. You know, you can see what you're doing, so you can see how you would appear to other people. And I know it's really painful to see that sometimes, because, you know, even when I edit videos, I'm like, oh, I don't want to see this right now, but, you know, it does help a lot. So yeah, that was the 5 positive things about being a YouTube vlogger. The ease of signing up, the community allows you to connect with other people, the independent creativity, which means you can do almost anything you want, and the 4th one is getting your message out there. And of course, the 5th one is performance skills. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's going to be more coming along this way. I think I might stick with this thing, like the 5 positive things about something. You know, I have a couple ideas. You can send me an idea about 5 positive things. If you want like a positive spin on something, you know, maybe I'll do it. So I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye!